Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into where generative AI stands in 2025. We've got this report, GenAI trends.dicex.pdf. And our goal really is just to pull out the key trends, the big shifts, so you know what's happening. Okay, so let's start with how it's changing things. How is GenAI, reshaping how we interact with tech?
Well, the first thing that really leaps out is that it's not just about text anymore, not by a long shot. We're seeing this major push into what they're calling multimodal AI.
Multimodal, right? So that means dealing with more than just words.
Exactly. It's AI that can process, understand, and crucially, generate content across different types. Think images, audio, even video alongside text.
Okay,
And this isn't just a gimmick, it means potentially much richer, more intuitive user experiences.
more immersive maybe.
Yeah, definitely more immersive. Imagine asking an AI about a concept, and it generates not just text, but maybe a diagram or a short explanatory video clip. It changes how we could learn or create things.
That makes sense.
Sure.
Now, the report also mentions something called Agentic AI. What's that about?
Agentic AI. So this refers to AI systems that aren't just passive tools, but can actually make decisions and execute tasks more independently.
Like they can do things on their own.
Pretty much. Think beyond just suggesting actions. Think about an AI assistant that could proactively manage your schedule, or, say, a system in logistics that optimizes routes and handles exceptions without constant human oversight.
Okay, so more autonomy.
Right. It's paving the way for, well, potentially much more sophisticated automation. Of course, that also brings up questions about control and alignment.
True. Interesting. Okay, shifting gears a bit, what about businesses? The report mentions a big jump in companies using Gen AI.
Oh, absolutely. The numbers are quite stark. Enterprise adoption apparently went from about 55% in 2023 up to 75% in 2024. That's according to IDC data cited in the report.
Wow, that's fast growth.
It is. And they're seeing returns. The report mentions top performers getting like 10.3 times their investment back.
10.3 times, that's
Yeah.
huge. What's driving that ROI?
It seems to be a mix of things. Increased efficiency, automating tasks, but also creating entirely new products or services powered by Gen AI.
But it can't be all smooth sailing, right? What are the catches?
No, definitely not. The biggest hurdle mentioned seems to be scaling these technologies effectively.
Scaling, meaning.
Like moving from a pilot project to widespread use across the company. It involves integrating with old systems, managing data, and crucially, finding or training people with the right skills. That's still a challenge.
Okay, that makes sense. And with all this activity, the legal side must be buzzing. What about things like copyright?
Yeah, the legal and regulatory landscape is definitely trying to catch up. Intellectual property is a big focus.
How so?
Well, the report points to things like the Generative AI Copyright Disclosure Act in the U.S. The idea is mandating transparency
Transparency about what?
about the copyrighted material used to train the AI models. This could have big implications for how models are built and, who owns the output. It touches on both the input data and the generated content.
Right. So knowing what went in is becoming legally important.
Got it. And finally, there's this point about humans and AI working together. It's not just about replacement.
Exactly. That seems to be a growing perspective. Less about AI taking over jobs, more about it being a tool, a collaborator to augment what people do.
Augment how? Can you give an example?
Sure. In education, think of AI personalizing learning paths for students, which frees up teachers for more one-on-one interaction. Or in creative fields, AI acting as a sort of co-pilot, brainstorming ideas, handling repetitive tasks.
A co-creator almost.
Yeah, a co-creator, a partner. The focus is really shifting towards finding that effective human-AI collaboration.
Okay, so let's quickly recap. We're seeing Gen AI move beyond text into multimodal formats. There's the rise of more autonomous, agentic AI. Businesses are adopting it rapidly and seeing ROI, but scaling is tough.
Right.
The legal side, especially copyright and transparency, is evolving fast. And the narrative is shifting towards AI as a collaborator for humans.
That sums up the key takeaways from the report quite well. So this leads us to a final thought, really for you listening. With Gen AI advancing so quickly and weaving itself into, well, almost everything, what do you think are the most crucial skills or knowledge areas to focus on now? How do we all thrive in this landscape? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.